Hi. Welcome to my channel. I've never done anything like this before, so please bear with me. But this is something I've wanted to do for a really long time. I've gotten into reading over the past 2 years or so, and I have found there's a lot of books that I really like, and it's been a lot of fun just to kind of dive into it. It's been a really good stress relief. I know I'm not like the only one who feels that way, but it's a really good stress relief. It's just a break from the world, and I have found a lot of books that I love. They have become my ride or dies. I'm famously I'm famously bad at picking a favorite. I'll always say like, oh, that's my favorite, that's my favorite, that's my ride or die, and I'll say it about like 10 or 20 different things at any given time. So there's a lot of stuff that I really like, and I've had the thought over and over and over again, I just want to talk about it with people, and sometimes it's hard when a lot of people in my inner circle like different books. So I just want to talk and get it out, and if you happen to find enjoyment from this, love it. Tell me what you want me to read. I'd love to chat about it. Just kind of make it a little virtual book club. But this time around, as a fun little first video, we're getting ready for the holidays. I wanted to make a video about a Christmas idea that I think would be cool if you wanted to try, but it's something I'm doing with my family. I decided that this year I wanted to get books for every person in my family and my extended family. Ideally, I was going for thrifted books, so I went to my local bookshop and looked around to see what I could find. I also had specific book ideas from like local authors or independent authors on like Kindle Unlimited, books that I really liked that I would think that my family members would like. So I did buy some new books, but the idea behind this was thrifted or local authors, and gifting books to my family. And so I just wanted to dive into the books that I got for them, to share. These are books that I've liked over the years, that I think, maybe it's a good idea for you to try, and maybe this will give you good ideas. So let's dive right in. I don't even know if I introduced my name. Oh well, I'm Cheryl. I am a nurse, I'm a mom, and I am a closet nerd who loves all things romance and fantasy, and I've been trying to dive into other genres recently, but if you got a good fantasy romance, I'm sure I would love it. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. There's not really a particular order. Also, you can see my cat roaming around. He's probably gonna make a few appearances, but just to get started, there's no particular order to this, but this is a series that I have loved. It's the Villains and Virtues series. It's by A.K. I already have a dead battery, but I got it charging and we're good. So starting off, Villains and Virtues by A.K. Caggiano. I butchered that and I already know it. If you know how to say it, let me know. But these books, I got the first book, Thrown in the Dark, for my sister-in-law, and then the second book, Summoned to the Wilds, for my brother, because he's already read the first one. He loved it, and he just said that he hasn't had the time or the resources to get into the second one yet, and so I just wanted to get them started on it. Basically, it is fantasy, it's a romance, it's a comedy. The way that it was described to me was picture a D&D campaign, but put into a story. And I think that's a perfect description. There is just so many fun quips. I was laughing out loud. It's a feel-good, it's got a good plot. The romance is steamy, but not spicy, and the banter is bantering so hard, and who doesn't love good banter, you know what I mean? So it's Damien and Amma are the two main characters, and they just get tied together on this little quest without meaning to, and they kind of hate each other to start. It's an enemies to lovers. But I think it's phenomenal, and I think, it's really well written, and I think a lot of people would enjoy it more than they think they would. So that is what I got from my brother and my sister-in-law. They're married. Again, no particular order to this. My mother-in-law, when I was asking, she said she would pretty much read anything. It could be politics, it could be history, but she loves a good fiction, fantasy, something. So this is a book, this is actually written by a local author to my area, and I have loved everything that she's written, but this is Esperance by Heather Frost. Basically, you're in this world, there's a country, or excuse me, like a continent with little countries, and there's one king that kind of rules over them all, and they have put together this group of 6 couples, so 6 males, 6 females. They are randomly paired together into marriages, and then the whole point is they've got to counsel together. They're going to create like a council to connect all these countries on the continent and create like a political conversation. So they're married together, and then they have to live together for a year in this kind of like a political outing, they get together, they discuss politics and how it can help each other's countries and that sort of a thing. It's got a lot of really cool political intrigue. There's a bigger thing going on. The sequel to this book is gonna come out next year. There still isn't a date yet, and I have been patiently waiting since like mid-2023, I think is when it came out, and I read it like shortly after. So excited for the sequel and found out it wasn't out. So I have been waiting for so long, and I'm so ready for that second book. But I got this for my mother-in-law. I think she'll really like it. It's a good, clean romance, but still the banter is bantering. You are really rooting for the main couple in here, and it was actually, this sounds so dumb, but it was this character that inspired me to color my hair a more reddish tone. I used to be like a blonde brown. So I really liked the main character in that book, and I really connected with her. So that is that book. This next one, not really a new book or anything, but this is a book that my brother specifically requested. He said it's been on his list of books to buy for a really long time. He's really wanted to have a copy of this, but it's The Princess Bride. A classic, phenomenal book. I think this was the book that got my brother into reading when he was in elementary school. He read this book, loved it, really connected with it, and I mean, who doesn't love the movie? I'm pretty sure at least everyone in my immediate family, they fell in love with the story via the movie, and then read the book and loved it as well. Tell me if you have a different opinion on it, but we really loved the movie, and so he's wanted a copy of this. So I found one, and I was super happy when I did, so I just picked it up for him. Okay, literally so many books still. This is not even the last pile. The next book that I got, admittedly, I still have yet to read, but I'm going to try and read it before I gift it for Christmas. But this is a book that I got for my other sister-in-law. When I was asking her husband about books that she likes, he mentioned she likes the YA fantasy, not necessarily romance, something cleaner. He said something along the lines of like Aragon, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, things like that, but he said she would be open to trying something new. So I found this book at the thrift shop. It's called Firstlife by Gena Showalter. Ten Lockwood has spent the past 13 months locked inside the Prynne Asylum. She's earned her rep as the craziest of crazies, but that doesn't stop the torture. Ten can leave, but only if she allows her parents to choose where she'll live after she dies. There is an eternal truth most of the world has come to accept. First life is merely a dress rehearsal, and real life begins after death. In the Everlife, 2 realms are in power, Troika and Myriad, longtime enemies and deadly rivals. Both will do anything to recruit Ten, including sending their top laborers to lure her to their side. Soon, Ten finds herself on the run, caught in a tug-of-war between the boy she's falling for and the realm she wants to support. Who will she choose, and can she stay alive long enough to make the decision? Something else that my brother-in-law mentioned was they really like the idea of learning you know, what happens after we die. Those are concepts that she's enjoyed learning and talking and reading about. And so this one kind of felt like it struck a chord on all those things. It's a YA novel. It does have a little bit of romance, but it's got some of those themes that she was talking about. So I'm hoping I'll read it and I'll like it. If I don't end up liking it, I might get her something else, but I'll let you know when I find out about this one. And if you've read it and if you like it or have thoughts on it, please let me know. I would love to know. All right. Let me get into just a couple more. There's a bit of a theme, but I'll get into that in just a second. This next one is for my nephew. He's 8 years old, and he's getting into reading chapter books and things like that, just really diving into that world. And something that his dad or my brother was saying was that he really loved the story of the Chronicles of Narnia. He's seen the movies, really liked them. And so he recommended something, you know, ideally one of the Chronicles of Narnia books. So I actually found this nice hardcover copy of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which, again, it's a classic. I know most of us have probably read it already, and it's a phenomenal book. And what a great place to start for a little young reader. So happy for him. Hopefully he likes it. All right. Let me make sure I have all the ones. Okay, this next little section, I sent out texts to everyone in my family of, you know, hey, what does your spouse or your significant other or your son, what kind of books do they like to read, right? I was trying to just feel it out without asking the person themselves, what books do you want for Christmas type of a thing. And every single one of the girls said about their husband or significant other that he really likes books about World War II. Nonfiction, World War II, books about the Holocaust, books about the war efforts, books about you name it. They all, I was blown away. I think about 5 different people said the same thing. So I have a whole bunch of books. I pretty much rated my bookshop section about World War II, and me and the lady at the shop actually had a lot of fun going through each of them. And so that's these next little section. That's what all of these are. All right, editing Cheryl is here to make some adjustments. Right off the bat, I completely missed the opportunity to talk about the fact that the men in my family, their Roman Empire is World War II, and it cracks me up every time. Like every time we, you know, that whole trend with like how often do you think about the Roman Empire? Literally, they never think about the Roman Empire. I think we even tried that trend with them. They never think about it, but they always are thinking about World War II. Like, that is their Roman Empire. And it became super obvious when I was doing this. So totally missed the opportunity to talk about that earlier, and for that I do apologize. Won't let that happen again. That was my bad. Anyways, yeah, so continue on. I forgot one. This first one is called Luck of the Draw by Frank Murphy. This is my story of the air war in Europe. So these are talking about the air war, the pilots. I think there's a couple of TV shows that have come out. Oh my gosh, what is it called? It's on Apple TV. And it has the guy from Dune. Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm so sorry. But he's in it. Masters of the Air. I think it's talking about the same stuff that Masters of the Air is talking about. That's kind of what it sounds like from what we talked about in the bookshop, what I've read briefly on my own. But my brother-in-law is going to school to be a pilot, and he was one of the ones that talked about how he really likes books about World War II and that sort of a thing. So this felt like a really good match for him. So I hope he likes it. And if you've, again, with all these books, if you've read them, let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. This other one is another variation of The Luck of the Draw. This is by Stephen Ambrose. It's The Wild Blue. This is the men and boys who flew the B-24s over Germany. So this is a variation of that other book. It's talking about the air war. This is for my father-in-law. He was one of the other people who said he really liked learning about World War II, but specifically name-dropped the author Stephen Ambrose. And so this felt like a really good match for him. And It has nothing but high reviews, and so I'm hoping that he likes it. Yeah, let me know what you think. Okay, this next one, I believe this is the last, yes, this is the last World War II book that I have that I'm planning to give away. This is Into the Storm. Sorry, there's little words written in there. Into the Storm, A Study on Command. A Study in Command, and it's written by Tom Clancy. So what Tom Clancy did was he interviewed this general, it was General Fred Franks, and he talked about his experience as a general in World War II, and he compiled all of his findings into this book. And I have a brother-in-law, another brother-in-law, who loves learning about the analytical side of things. He loves just kind of learning about how things work, and so this deep dive into general's look on World War II felt like a very good fit. Again, his wife name dropped that he really enjoyed Tom Clancy books, and so this felt like a really good match for him. So, Into the Storm by Tom Clancy. Okay, last few books that I got. Let me just grab. Sorry. This one will be fun. So I have a little 1-year-old, and I got Twas the Night Before Christmas, just a cute little picture book. While we were in the store, my little 1-year-old was obsessing with this book, and he kept flipping through the pages and getting excited about the little reindeer. And so, what am I supposed to do? Just not pick it up for him? So I will be wrapping this. He's not really going to care, probably, because he's 1, but there you go. This book is a book that I am very intrigued in. It's one of the ones that I'm planning on reading before I give it. It's called 4 Years Trapped in My Mind Palace, and it's written by Jonathan Twiss. So this is actually a local author again, but this is a fiction book, but basically the idea is there's a 14-year-old boy who is he's in an accident and he's trapped in a vegetative state, but he can hear and see everything that's going on. He's awake, he's aware, but he can't communicate any of that. And he's in this state for 4 years. He's in a care facility. His own family's kind of losing interest, and he's kind of starting to lose hope. But in this care facility, he gets a roommate who is an old, he's an old eccentric, they describe it as an old eccentric jazz musician with dementia. And Aaron is kind of talking in his mind, the main character is talking in his mind, and he's surprised when this main character, or this jazz musician talks back within their mind. And so they're able to communicate, which is something he hasn't been able to do in a long time. And so the way it says at the end, it is a humorous and a heartwarming coming-of-age story entwined with an end-of-age story that will renew your faith in the power of friendship and the beauty of life. So this book is just an intriguing idea. I really like that, and this is something that I actually got from my mom. She really likes uplifting, heartwarming, feel-good stories, and this feels like it's going to make you think, but it makes you happy and maybe a little bit sad. So, we'll see. Hopefully it's good. Last few books here. This, again, it's a classic, but The Help. I got this for my sister-in-law. I don't think she's read it before. She's not like a huge reader, and when I asked her sister about books that she would like, her sister said, it kind of depends. And that's all I had to work with. But I like this book because it makes you think. It's so well written, and it's just a good book, you know? The movie is great too, but it's a great book, and so I hope she likes it. So, oldie but a goodie. For my other sister-in-law, I found this one. She is really into memoirs, like celebrity memoirs. She likes to learn about these people kind of behind the scenes, get to know the people behind the mask, I guess. And so I got her Spare for Prince Harry, and I'm not sure if she follows Prince Harry a ton. I don't necessarily follow the royals that much because I am not in England. But it's an interesting story, and I've heard good things about the book, so we will see how we feel about that. But that is Spare by Prince Harry. And then the last book I got, and this is a bit of a niche one, but this is for my brother. All of my brothers, all of my family, they are big Brandon Sanderson fans. They love that epic fantasy, invest you into the world. I think there's a new book coming out that every time we get together, they are talking about it. They're rereading the series leading up to it. They love Brandon Sanderson, and he's a great writer, so like, I get it, you know. But when I was at the bookshop, and I was asking, you know, what's a good book for someone who loves Brandon Sanderson, and she was pointing out that not a lot of people know that Brandon Sanderson made a graphic novel. And so this is Brandon Sanderson's Dark One. So this is kind of an extra book. This is for the brother that's going to get The Princess Bride. But I also decided just to get him this because he is obsessed with the world, and if he hasn't seen it before, I wanted to make sure that he had this. He also loves graphic novels, he loves anime and artwork, and just, I think he has a couple other books that are kind of like this, so who knows, maybe he already has it. If so, he can regift it to someone else, but it just felt like it was just a lot of fun to pick out for him. So those are the books that I am getting for my family for Christmas. This is a really fun thing to do. It just gave me a chance to think about books that they would like, kind of dive into their world, and I got real excited when I felt like I found a book that was just like a perfect fit, you know? So if you're looking for a good gift idea, it's really cheap. It's not expensive at all. It's a lot of fun, and you feel like you really get to get them something that they're really going to enjoy. It feels a little more personal. So if you have any ideas, if you've read any of these books that I've talked about today, please share them in the comments down below. This is a new channel. I have no idea what I'm doing, so if you have any thoughts or ideas or things that you want me to talk about, books you want me to talk about, things you think I should read, let me know in the comments below. Any interaction that you do with this video super duper helps, so liking, following, commenting, I would super appreciate it because I'm getting started into this and I'm deciding if I want to keep going. So anyways, yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.